faster than a 5-0.
Hit the turn, flip the bird, bust a bitch, make him swerve. Bang into the curb. Oh, word, we absurd. Got the fire we can burn.
Alright, what's up guys? I'm Mw3 Fox and we're playing another game of Dropzone and Mw3. So, now what I wanted to talk to you guys about today has been kind of crossing my mind here a lot recently. And I know I've had a lot of topics like this, and I feel really bad for talking about all this other shit like this, but this is the second time I've tried to make this commentary due to reasons that, for some odd reason, my my commentary audio was kind of like laggy, and it like glitched out quite a bit. So now I've had a lot of issues in my past where, you know, trusting people was one of those things where people always just wanted to, you know, put me in a bad position where everyone thinks I'm just like a bad person. You know, to be honest, I've had a lot of, you know, bad issues with relationships and all this other shit, and I understand that a lot of people go through a lot of, you know, issues with it, but there's always that thing in life where you have to, you know, just try and move on from all the bullshit that goes through our heads. And I'm sorry I'm kind of stuttering, guys. I'm kind of tired. I've been up since 12:30, maybe about an hour of sleep. So there's been a lot of issues in my past that have come back to, you know, bite me in the ass. And I understand people make mistakes, people make bad decisions and everything, but we just got to move on from whatever decisions we make as human beings. And I know that's kind of rough and it's kind of hard to even, you know, go through the process of trying to get over something, you know, bad relationships, bad whatever, you know. And sometimes it's kind of one of those things where you feel like you have to, you know, try and work through the shit even as you get older, you know. I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be perfect. I've never had, you know, the greatest history in relationships or, you know, school or anything else like that. But I'm trying to better myself, you know, to try and better my ways of thinking and, you know, better my family in certain ways that is gonna try and make me better, if that makes any sense. But it's just ironic how every time I think I'm doing good, you know, something goes through my brain, the thought process where I feel like I'm you know, slipping back down. And that's when I started doing a lot of stupid shit like drinking, you know, smoking a lot of pot and all this other shit, you know. And it's kind of rough to even assume that someone like me would, you know, try and get into that shit. But to be honest, it's kind of rough for me to even admit a lot of this because of certain reasons. And you can't take life for granted, guys. You have to, you know, keep going with everyday obstacles. Every day is an obstacle where you have to go through and, you know, work through every issues that you have. And I know it's kind of rough, guys. It's really hard to, you know, stay focused on any of these obstacles, especially when everything that you're doing just doesn't seem like it's good enough. But it's funny because back when I was about like 15, I started playing baseball for high school, and I was, you know, seeing this group. Well, okay, we weren't seeing each other. We were just like, you know, friends at the time. And when it came down to it, she finally told me that she had these really strong feelings for me. But I ended up moving away, you know, a little while later, at the end of that year. So it's just funny to me how, you know, these small little things like that can change the sense of the mood and change the way you look at life. So we started seeing each other for a little bit after high school, even a little bit in high school and a little bit after, but it all went downhill because of, you know, her, you know, doing all these things with all these other people that she never admitted to, and she still won't admit to it, you guys. And that's fucking sad, you know. And a lot of this thought process goes through a lot of my head, a lot, you know. Like I said, I'm not perfect, and I never claim to be, so that's something that keep in mind, is if you're not perfect, you're never gonna, you know, be like this perfect person, because no one's perfect, guys. But there's just a lot of things where you feel like, you know, you're trying to move on from anything that goes on in life, and you try and, you know, make a positive image for people. Like if you have kids or anything, you're trying to set a perfect example for them to, you know, learn from. For me, it's been rough for a lot of things, and a lot of, you know, growing up shit I've had to do. You know, as a parent myself, I feel like I've done a little bit better than what I could have back when I was about 19 years old, you guys. I started working at the age of 15, and, you know, doing landscaping for an apartment complex. It was fun, you know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of the shit that I was doing. But then, when I was about like 17, I started working full-time in a, you know, factory. So I did that for a little while, and just trying to, you know, work on things that I need to do to try and make money back then. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had to buy my own school supplies. I didn't have, you know, anybody help with that kind of shit. And it's just sad that it came down to that. But this is what I'm talking about. Trying to set a perfect example of why we do what we do. With whether it's money, you know, trying to stay away from drugs and alcohol and all this other shit. I don't condone doing drugs. I don't condone drinking alcohol. I don't condone anything like that, you know. But, you know, shit's gonna happen. People are gonna do what they want, and they're gonna feel like they need to do what they want. So, sorry guys, I think I'm getting sick. But like I said, I've also been up all night. So, people are gonna do what they're gonna do, and I'm not gonna sit there and say that I've had, like, haven't done a lot of shit, because I've done a lot of stupid shit. There's a few times I've almost been arrested for, you know, running from the cops. You know, that was my natural instinct as a kid, because of having to deal with them quite a bit because of, you know, my family and all this other shit. But at the same time, I could have, you know, stood there and dealt with the cop myself. And luckily, the guy who I was hanging out with at the time basically saved my ass. So, I'm trying to, you know, make better choices, do better things. I've never been in trouble with the law, guys. I've really had no issues with, you know, the law or anything. But it's just funny to me how people have this assumption of me that I'm just this bad person, and that I have nothing to, you know, be around for people who that like have kids and shit. I've got kids too, guys. So it's like, if you don't think I'm a good person, then why in the fuck do I have kids? You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't understand. I love my kids to death, and I would do anything for them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, I thought I'd bring you guys this commentary and let you guys, you know, hear my side of the story of things that I feel that people need to address too. So, yeah, I figured I'd, you know, bring you this and tell you guys that I'm not a perfect person. I never claimed to be. I never claimed to be a saint or anything. You know, I've made a lot of bad decisions. I've made a lot of bad choices. You know, but I live with those choices every single day. Like dropping out of high school, doing all this other shit that I shouldn't have done. But on a brighter note, I had to take today off, guys, because of bad reasons. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. It's been Zero Fox, guys, and I'm out. Peace out, guys.